Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and I believe it's week 11 of the challenge. Just do a quick check that it is week 11 of the challenge. It is week 11 of the challenge. Right, immediately you'll see there's something different with the planner. I've put white paper over the detail here because I want to try and do something different. So yes, normally it would look like this, but all I've done is I've just put white copy of paper over this. So there you go, that's what I've done there. I will do some hi and hellos as we go along. I'm trying to actually physically answer the comments in the comments as well. So if I miss you, which I hope I don't, then take a look because I've probably written a comment up against your comment as a reply. So this week we've got these are the prompts. Hopefully the lighting is good. It's a really nice sunny day here. I'm excited about that. So let's see what I've actually dug out of my stash and how I'm going to attack this. So the first one is a flower. Well, flowers are a no-brainer. So I've got some beautiful hydrangeas there in pink. I've got this I fussy cut out of an old flower book or old flower magazine. I can't, well, maybe it's the cover looking at this, it's quite thick. And then I've got this bunch, which to be honest is actually calling to me. So you may see this one used, but I'm not sure. We might use elements of the others. A foreign language. As always, struggle with a foreign language. I think that's Latin. I think, and of course I've got my German English dictionary again, just in case. Next on the list. Right, stitched, real, drawn or stamped. Okay, got a bit creative with this. I have a stamp set that's got stitching on it, so I'm going to use that. And also take note there's a measure here because a measure is another one of them. And I'm going to use archival black to try and give everything else a pop. But also, I just thought, right, let's add some texture. So I did a little bit of stitching onto a piece of, I think this is linen or something. I'm very bad with that. And also I stitched on a button because I just really thought of what a button. So it might end up in the corner or something. You have to make sure it doesn't end up too close to the spine of the middle because the button might add a bit of bulk. Actually, it might go out the top. I don't know. I'm going to play around with that idea, but I really want to put that on this. A measurement, as you saw, I've got the ruler stamp there. I also have some mathematical tables and average wage sheets and stuff. That's another thing I might use, and of course that's a measurement as well. Something torn. Well, something torn, everything in my collage is going to be torn anyway because I'm using a tear ruler. However, I did want to use some other stuff on here. So I've got this page which I think I'm going to tear and put down the sides as a border, and then these came off the same page that this came off, and I quite like that look, so I may pull some of these elements in as well. And the last one, which is the bonus, is geometric shapes. Now obviously you don't have to use them, but for me I want to use them. I want to try and do all 5 on, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 6 on each of my collage spreads. So I thought, right, let's look at some different sort of things. Both of these washes have squares on them. A square is a geometric shape. I also punched out some pieces of craft card and bits of, actually I think they're bits of my digital, so I thought a circle is a geometric shape. I've also got some of these mini distress ink pads, and I'll show you what I'm thinking with those as I go along. I also want to put some yellow into this. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a sunny day. Maybe it's feeling like spring. So I've got some distress ink and an ink pad here. And also I've got a stencil. Now, don't ask me where I bought this stencil because I didn't buy it. I made it. I'm quite lucky I have a Cameo silhouette cutting machine, just a normal one, so it means I can design and cut my own stencils. So this is one I use quite often, as you can see, because it's already got bits of acrylic on it. I use it in my art journal, so I thought I'd use that to help me build up a background. Again, the squares are geometric shapes, and so are the rectangles. So that's all the boxes ticked. So I also have my nasty handwriting with everybody's hello and everything, and little comments for me, so just to remember who everyone was, what you all so kindly said. other partners in crime, and I believe that's still in shot if I put it there. I've got my glue book, glue stick, my spreader, pair of scissors and a tear ruler. So we're all good to go. So why don't we? Right, let's just do one or two before I start on the comments. So Linda Hyman, I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry, Linda. A hi from me. Danny, hi. What's the next one? Okay, Kerry from Australia. Kerry, hello Kerry. I used to live in Sydney. I used to live in Elizabeth Bay and absolutely love Australia. And my father actually had a residence out there as well, so love that. Virginia Harvey, hi. Matilda Enlud, is that? Hello as well. One more comment and we'll make a start. Joanne Watchell or Watchell. I'm really bad with names, guys. Yes, making Gail's birthday present was absolutely fun. I really enjoyed doing it. Edith Holden, I think, is getting a little expensive everywhere purely because everyone is using it. So everyone's hunting and searching for it. So, right, let's put that to one side. Hopefully that's in shot. First thing first, right, what I want to do, right, I want to get the stencil involved. Now, I'm thinking of layering up different elements across this sheet. However, I don't want a white page, although I did want a white page, if that makes sense whatsoever. So I was going to use my sponge. I'm wondering whether to use my sponge or use a brush. I might use a brush. I like using a brush better. So what I'm talking about is one of these fine makeup brushes. They're all over the place nowadays, so I'm sure you'll be able to find them. If you haven't got them in your local cosmetic store, try grocery store. I know when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, I found these in Kruger. So there you go. So I just want a hint of something in the background, and I'm going to start on the plastic and then work my way into the apertures. And I do that purely because I just don't want a block of colour. I want some sort of shading to the block of colour. I mean, 90% of this may get covered up anyway, but I just wanted that bit. Now, when it comes to here, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do a little line of colour along there, just in case it gets picked up. As you can see, that's quite a delicate look. Not sure how much it's going to pick up on screen, hopefully some at least. So stencils are a great way of adding a visual texture to something. Now, as this is distress ink, I know I can come in afterwards with water and wash this stencil. So whereas normally I would clean my stencil straight away, I'm not going to today. I'm just going to leave this on one side. If you are doing stenciling, by the way, whether you're using let's see, texture paste, whether you're using clay, whatever you're using, one big tip I would say is get a shallow tray and put water in it. And then whenever you finish working with your stencil, just immediately drop the stencil into that. And the joy of that is it'll stay moist, therefore it's not going to dry out on you and get crusty. So, right, we've got the basics on there. So now I need to just do a little bit of playing around. Let's move that up to the corner because I know it's in shot for you. And see what I'm thinking and see whether it actually works. Well, I did quite like this bit, and as I was tearing them up, I thought up there worked for me. This piece here, I'm thinking I might want to put just a band across the bottom here. So how much do I need? I can take it just below that. So, right, while I'm tearing, let's see who else I haven't said hello to. Anne Butler, hi. Where do I find my music paper, you want to know? I get 99% of my music paper from charity shops or thrift stores, or if you're living in America, Goodwill, and anywhere like that. I don't obviously buy sheet music to tear sheet music up, but I do have sheet music. I'm going to tear this a little bit, I think, just by hand. So yeah, I tend to hunt. When you go to a charity shop or a Goodwill shop, you'll find there's usually a box underneath where all the books are displayed, and it's usually got random things in, like maps and magazines and sometimes music paper, and that's in all honesty, that's where I look. Right, I've got my 3 pieces of that on, and I know I'm not marrying myself to the 3-piece syndrome. However, today it's working for me. So, right, I've got these words. I might want to put those in somewhere, so just tearing across. It is so great to hear your comments, guys. It is really, really nice, because when you do anything with YouTube, or when you do anything in general to put yourself out there, it's sometimes very difficult to go, do you know, am I good enough? Is what I'm doing good enough? I mean, if you look around YouTube, you'll find there's a lot of stuff that, seriously, in my opinion, should not be on YouTube. However, that's their choice, and I would never take away anyone's freedom to be creative. So, but me personally, I always want to offer something that I hope people are going to enjoy. So that's just my thinking anyway. Right, let's go back to this. So I've done that. I've got that down there. I don't want to cover everything up on there. Oh, that's one other thing I wanted to do before that, wasn't it? I can probably do it after I've glued this down. Actually, as I've just had an outer body moment and just remembered something else, I'm going to glue these pieces down because I'm fairly sure this is where I want them to be. Now, this is a new glue stick, so hopefully it'll cause me less problems, because I think on the last one I ran out of two glue sticks in one collage. Not fun. So let's put that across there. Right, let's stick that down. Do I mind it goes to the edge? Not really. So let's see who else is on my list of people to say hello to. Kirsty Whitman Sinkler. That's a very interesting name. Hello from California. I believe you said something like you needed to get a washing line. Yeah, I agree with you. If you're living in California, seriously, get a washing line. Put the washing out on the line. It will smell beautiful when you're done. Unless, of course, you live in the middle of LA or something, and you've probably got the smog to deal with. So, again, we have a beautiful day. Again, we have washing on our line. I'm seeing a theme here, guys. Okay, as always, these don't go in the bin. They get put into a box, and then I use them later. Jinx Me Studios. Hi, collage can be easy. You just need to let go and do it. And coming from me, that's a pretty bold statement, as I'm so pedantic and procrastinate. As you know from my previous videos, for me, it's all about working quickly. And I found if I work quickly, I'm A, more productive, but B, I'm less likely to deliberate over something. I'm likely to just go on my gut feeling. And I don't know if it's the correct thing to say, but I think gut feeling collaging is maybe a thing of the future for me. So let's see. There you go. Who did I see the other day doing collage? I absolutely loved it. Crafty Cat on YouTube. Crafty Cat's on at Crafty. Crafty Cat on YouTube. Actually loved her collage. She did something, I believe she's working in like an art journal type thing, or a reclaimed book. I can't remember exactly what it was. So she has a whole A4 page, and then after she's completed it, she puts the prompts on the back of the page. And I really think next year, if I do this challenge again, which I'm likely to do, I'm actually going to be doing it not in the planner, but in an art book that's spiral bound, because then I've got more of a canvas to work on, because I love the process, but I don't need the planner. So anyway, just something to think about. Or, as I think I might have said in a previous one of these challenges, I might actually make myself a journal specifically to do this in. Not sure whether it would be stitched or not, because I think if you had stitching, you might put the stitching under stress with all of the collage pages, but you could make it a ring binder type project, which is again something else we could look at. So right, the basics are down there. Now I want to put the top on the glue, because I want to do one or two little things. Now where these squares are, I wanted to actually put some line of stitching in as well. So let's move the blue book out of the way. Now, I've not used these stamps before. I think they are from Stamperia. So I'm not sure how rigid they are as to whether I need to put an acrylic block on them. I'm hoping not, because I don't really want to use an acrylic block. Oh, they do feel quite firm. So I'm thinking if I can just put some ink on them and just come in and put random bits of stitching across this background. There you go, that works for me. So just bits here and there. if I'd have thought I could have made this more of a like a sewing theme spread, but I didn't think, did I? So I just go ahead. And I quite like the fact actually that I did forget to stamp before I stuck down, but I don't mind the fact that it goes across part of the pieces I'm working on. Let's put one piece in there. Now, while I've got the stamp pad out, let's just stamp that off. Where did I put the, there you go, it's over there. I'm going to put the measurement in as well, this measurement in now, purely because I can. So I think that way it'll become more of a background. That would have been better if I'd done it straight, but sticking to my fingers. So. Now, with anything like collage work, or as you may have heard me say, I do some mixed media stuff as well. Anything mixed media, it's all about the layers. Okay, I think that's enough of that because I do have other measurements to be used later on as well. So let's put that back on the block. These are very sticky on the back, so I'm sure they would have worked a lot better if I'd have actually put them onto an acrylic block. But there you go, maybe not for me. Right, let's put that to one side. Clear that off there. Some of you may be asking or saying, oh, he's forgotten to put the timer on. Actually, I've decided to ditch the timer because it's in the background over there just to give me an idea. But every time I've used the timer, I've turned it off before we finished, or I think there was one occasion I finished on time. And I thought, you know what? I don't really need the timer. It was just there as a boost of confidence for me. So let's go on to the next one. Michelle Truthan, I think it may be. Hi. Cindy Matheson. I can't read my writing. Oh, yes, I can. You said that this one, I think it was, reminded you of a library. And actually, now you say that, I can actually see that as an oldie worldy library. Love that. And yes, you will have noted, people, I do use bits out of magazines. I do lots of clipping stuff. And that's just because I've always done it. It's another version of recycling for me. So I do like to clip from magazines. I do like to use them in my collages. Right, let's move on now. So I've got basic bits down there. Now I want to add a little bit of something colour-wise. And I'm thinking this is maybe where the hydrangea comes in. I'm really debating that this is too big. I mean, granted, I could cut it and do it in sections and then use the other section somewhere else, but we'll leave that as a layer for later. I am looking at this and I think that I want to take this down in size. So just using my tear ruler just to take the edges off stuff, reduce it in size. Now, the debate is always, do I use it for the colour or do I use it for the flower? I think I'm going to use it for the colour instead of the flower. So I'm going to tear this into 3. Not that I need to tear it into 3, but maybe today I do need to tear it into 3. And just think about where I want to place this. I quite like this. Now, remembering I'm deciding to have something down as a border. I don't mind that, which screams to me up there, but it can't be up there because I know that I've got a piece. I'm going to put that in the parking lot for a moment, just in case it could become an upper layer. So, who else have I seen doing a spread? I watched, obviously, my friend Gail the other day doing her spreads. Can't remember which one she was doing. But it looks like Gail is having a lot of fun with this as well. But then Gail absolutely loves doing collage, as do I. Who else did I see? Did I see Roxy? I think I saw Rachel from Roxy Creations actually doing one the other day as well. I get so confused. I tend to watch quite a few YouTubes, but in my defence, I watch very little TVs. So most of the TV stuff that we have here, to be honest, just really bores me. So I tend not to watch a lot of TV, unless it's things like We have a program here, and I don't know whether it's international or not. It's called the Pottery Throwdown, and the Pottery Throwdown is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's an elimination competition where potters come on to pot, like working with clay, you know, a potter's wheel, that sort of potting. There's a photography one on as well that I like, which is all about landscape photography. No, landscape artistry, sorry. There's Photographer of the Year. There's lots of that sort of stuff out there. Anyway, right, I digress. I'm getting into chatty mode when I really don't need to. Right, let's have another comment. Carolk, I can never say this, C-A-R-O-L-K, or is that Carol K. Nixon? I can't work it out. You asked about photographs of the new crafts room when it's done. I promise you, when I do the new craft room or my new craft cave and it's completely finished and I've got everything in place and I'm happy with it, I will do a bit of a craft room tour just for you guys. Pat Walden, hi. Marie, hi to Florida. Tuesday Turner, hi, love that name, Tuesday Turner. Darcy, hi from Biscuit and I. Linda Park, hi, just enjoying the collage process. That's all I can say is just enjoy the collage process. Don't stress, just get on with it. Tracy Widden, hi. Whitney Costner, Y, and Penelope Ambrose, hi as well. I feel like I've missed a page. No, actually I didn't miss a page. I went through those really quickly. Right, we can stop the gossip and keep on working now. Okay, now I had an idea for these. I've got this little group of distress inks, and I thought, why not try something different? So for me anyway, I'm not going to stamp using the ink. I'm going to stamp with the ink. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to press down in different areas just to build up the colour. Now, if this was an art canvas, my next bit would be I would come in, spritz them with water, and then actually see them run or something. But I'm not overly sure I want to try that in this collage book because it could go everywhere and it could become a hot mess. So I don't know who I first heard say the word hot mess, but it seems to have stuck with me as a phrase. Okay, I'm quite liking where this is going. It is very, very, very geometric in my mind. Oh, that tea dye is strong, isn't it? I've not used tea dye before. Let's put that by there. Now, we do know we're going to continue to collage, so things will get added more and more and more on top of this. So bear with me. We'll see what the end result looks like. It could look an absolute mess, but it may not. So, right, I wanted to bring this in. And I wanted to bring it in such a way that I'm liking that, but I wish it went all the way to the bottom. Right, tear time, I think. Let's take that strip off there. Obviously, anything gets torn off just goes back into my boxes. So this strip may show its head again in the future. Who knows? Right. So that's fine. Okay, I'm thinking of tearing myself a strip. Now remember, if you want the white on the right, tear the left towards you. And obviously if you're working with your other hand, work it in the opposite direction. So that can go in there. Yes, I'm liking this. Not liking that little bit there, but I'll do something about that. Now, I was thinking I want to do something like this over here as well. But to be honest, there's a lot going on, so I'm thinking I will just tear a piece off this. I was planning on doing a complete panel like that over here. I think it would be too much, so I'm just going to... Did I tear that in the right place here? I'm just going to tear this and add a piece of it over here. That still feels like it's a little bit too much for me. So... Isn't it funny? Everyone's looking at this going, oh, he's covering that up, he's covering that up. And I agree with you, I'm covering things up, but they're under there. It's that whole layer thing. Right, do I want to put a thin strip of something up there? I do quite like this strip, and I'm wondering whether, am I going to be able to tear this in half is the question. Because I've got big hands and big fingers, I sometimes find it a little bit of a struggle to tear pieces. I think I like this bit better, to be honest. If I tear that off there, that gives me something that's lighter. Let's pull that in and glue that down before indecision and procrastination kick into my life and I decide I hate it. So let's pop that up there all the way to the top. Right, I do like that. So again, let's get myself a clean book page or I'm going to end up being stuck to everything as normal. Right, how are we doing on things needed? Right, I do need to glue these pieces down because I do like them. They're not going anywhere. Well, they're not going to go anywhere once I've stuck them down anyway. What else have I got to talk about? We're really quite excited here in Britain. The government is going to make a big announcement on Friday, which I think, I don't know what day it is. It's Tuesday today. So they're going to make a big announcement on Friday. Hopefully they're going to announce that we can start coming out of one of our lockdowns. It would be rather nice to have a little bit of freedom. I know England has actually sent all of its children back to school. I think Wales, which is obviously where I live, we're opening our schools up next week. I think basically we've got to the point where we've pretty much had enough. It's like a third of the population apparently has been vaccinated now. Funnily enough, I got my phone call last week and I have my first of my vaccines tomorrow. Now, for those of you who disagree with the vaccine, absolutely agree with you. It's your choice. You can do whatever you wish. But as an asthmatic, I want every layer of protection I can find. Bit of ink there. I think that needs to come off my hand, don't you? Because I can already see I've smeared stuff. It's either that or, why can't I get these out of here? Or the ink itself wasn't completely dry. So that may be a problem in the future. So I just need to be aware that I'm aware of that. I might actually put tissue paper over part of this if it becomes a problem. So yes, so I get my first vaccine tomorrow. Am I happy about it? I'm happy to be having it. Am I scared about it? I'm a little scared about it. Yeah, because I mean, some people have had reactions to it, and it might just be my luck that I get a reaction to it. And I don't know. It's just human nature. I think we want things to go simply and smoothly, and no matter how many people say, "Oh yeah, we like change," can I not find the end of this for some reason? People say they welcome change, whatever. I don't think people do welcome change. I think they like the idea of change, but when change actually comes to them, do they embrace it? Not overly convinced. Right, I'm just going to take that corner bit off because I've mutilated it badly. Again, you know me, I don't trust washi, so I'm just going to put my Pritt stick on this. And I've had a bit of an idea as far as preventing movement of stuff. So I think I'm going to, I guess I'm putting that there then. Nothing like dropping it on there. So that way I can still see the square behind it. And I'm adding yet another geometric shape to this. So there you go. Let's put this one over here. And I do quite like that it goes over the top of this as well. I think I'm definitely going to need a bit here. I think the problem is that's a magazine page, so it's glossy, which means obviously that the ink doesn't sink into it as it does with normal paper. Well, not immediately anyway. Right, don't mind that. That's enough of washi, however, because we don't get carried away. Onto this washi. So it was a contradiction in term, wasn't it? That's enough of washi. Let's go to washi. So I'm just going to use this one to add a little bit more something somewhere. We still haven't finished gluing stuff down yet, though, I must admit, but it's beginning to be a bit of a busy page. Do I mind that? No, I don't mind that. Is it an experiment? It is an experiment, as with everything you do when you're an artist. So, and that's what's exciting, I think, the fact that you never know how it's going to turn out. I mean, I never know. I just go for it. So And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. And to be honest, where I struggled when I first started doing collage, I wouldn't stick pieces down because they weren't the right piece, or they weren't perfect for what I wanted. And you know what, that's not the right way to do art. A lot of art is about experimentation as far as I'm concerned. I also learned along the way that you shouldn't judge something until it's completely finished, because we're all going, oh, that's never going to work. And I would get to a point where I wouldn't do any more. I would just stop and go, no, that's never going to work. It doesn't look right. I'm just not do anything. So, right, I just want to bring this in just to see whether it would fit in that corner. And it does fit in that corner. I'm quite happy with that. Not that that's definitely going to be there, but it might be. Right, I'm looking at this bit here, feeling that that feels right down there, because that seems to be too predictable for me. That's a very me thing to do. Actually, is it a me thing to do if I put it over there, though? I think I'm going to put it there, actually. I've got a little idea for down here. Just having a thought. I might be going into overkill here, people. I've got a feeling this is going to be a very, very busy spread. So, here's another thing. Does anyone actually do a glue book? Because I do glue books. If you don't know what a glue book is, it's pretty much one of these, but usually on a bigger scale. And I have enjoyed my glue books a lot across the years. And I'm wondering whether some of you are actually using a glue book instead of using this. Just a thought anyway. Right, I still have my element, which will come in at some point. Actually, that's not a bad place for it when it does come in. I'm going to have the whole debate about which glue needs to be sticking it down, though, aren't I? I think it's pretty much going to be Fabri-Tac. So I'll just take that little bit of threading off there. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Fabri-Tac on that one. Okay, I do need to put the language in. I don't have language on here anywhere. And I think right down there, and if I can tear a piece that is in German, I'd be quite happy. So, not because it's in German, but because it's in a different language from my own. Actually, I told that that's not going to work, is it? I need... Actually, it does work if I do it that way. Again, let's see if I can tear a reasonably thin strip. So, yes, Britain at the moment seems to have the air of expectation about it when it comes to the future. I'm not sure. I think we've been here before and thought we're on the way out of the current situation, and we weren't. But I do think personally we're in a better position at the moment. I think with the vaccine now in production, with some people accepting the vaccine, I'm trying to be hopeful, people. I'm trying to be hopeful. I mean, I know that there's some problems in America at the moment because I think people have just had enough. I think the whole of the world has just had enough. But I don't know whether... Is rioting the right solution? I mean, I suppose if it's the only thing you have of having your voice heard, then maybe it is. I mean, I don't know. Luckily enough, we've not got to that stage here yet, but I don't want to cross it out of our future, because I think if it is effective in other places in the world, then I've got a feeling people might start it here, which is a bit worrying, because normally when people riot, it's not the government that gets hurt, it's like the small shop owners and people's properties and people in general. So that worries me, that could potentially be something of our future. Right, let's have a look at these prompts. I'm getting political, and I have no right to be political. I try not to have, because I don't know enough. Right, flower. Well, I've already got flowers, but we did say I'm possibly going to be sticking that in there. And what I'm thinking is I might actually do something like that in the corner. But I'm unsure about this, still unsure about this. That element I really like. I do feel I need something there, not because of the spot of something, it just feels like a place, an open space for something. And I've still got these pieces, which have got numbers on. I do quite like the numbers. I think these two are going to go back in the stash, but this one might get used. So, right, it's a dry glue book. I can hear you going, don't put the ruler on the glue book. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah, we've heard that one before. I'm liking just a little bit of that there. Just because I'm liking a little bit of that there. That works for me. This still feels it needs something. However, I think that's possibly why I keep reaching for this flower. But I think it's too big, and I'm going to go with my instincts here and say it is too big. So therefore, I may well put a little bit of numbering down there. Let's take it there. I think if that comes in there, I might be happier. Actually, I might be happier if it's even smaller, because I quite like that wording there. Okay, I don't mind that. Maybe a little piece of that up there. It seems to need some balance from side to side. So there you go. I'm not unsure about. Now I'm looking at that, I'm unsure. It feels like the wrong bit. Let's tear this down even further. No, this isn't right. That's not the right bit, but it might be right somewhere else. Actually, I know I stuck the wording down, but I quite like that over there. So I'm going to stick this piece down here. Up the side of there. This bit over there needs sticking down because I like that one. I've been thinking of it because this is the first time I've actually done a playlist for crafting, and it was a natural playlist, obviously, because why wouldn't you do the collage challenge, which is going to be 52, or it's probably going to be 54 videos by the end, because I did the introduction one, and I'm probably going to do a flick through at the very end. I was thinking about the playlist situation, and I'm wondering whether I want to possibly buy a 12 by 12 pack of craft paper. I'm not sure which brand. I'm erring towards Tim Holtz because I like Tim Holtz's papers, although it might be nice to give maybe a new designer or a different designer the chance to have his or her work done. Anyway, I digress. So what I want to do is I'm thinking of taking a 12 by 12 pad and then doing a whole series of things I can make out of each of the pages. And as a craft pad is quite an extensive piece of kit, I'm not sure how many videos it will come out of it. But I'm thinking if I aimed it at the beginners, like how to do tags with pockets, how to do over the edge of page folds, how to do journal cards, how to do belly bands. I mean, do you see where I'm going? How to do envelopes. I thought, maybe it'd be a nice thing for a beginner to actually show how you can utilise not only a 12 by 12, but all the way down to scraps as well. I mean, out of a 12 by 12, you could actually do whole pages that go into a journal. I mean, you could do an insert for the centre or the outside of a signature. So anything like that, really, anything. So anyway, that's where my brain is going with this. So right, now I've got that there, I quite like the fact that I can move that over. So sorry, jumping straight back into this. So let's put this down. So I'm thinking about that. So how do you feel about that, guys? Now, I'm assuming most of you watching this are already paper crafters because you've discovered Gail, you've discovered me, you've discovered other people, and I'm thinking you probably already know all of that, but would it be interesting? I think I'd like to do it. A couple of reasons. It would build up my ephemera stash. It would help out any newbies out there. I wish I'd have found one when I actually started, so I'm sure there were some, I just didn't know to look for it. Okay, now I did cut these out, which were things I thought I could put on because it's another geometric pattern, but it's a case of which ones would I want. Oh, actually, that's quite a nice one there. I'm just going to lay a few of these on here. I'm not convinced at the moment that these are the right thing. I'm not at all convinced these are the right thing. Looks like it might end up as looking as if it's got some sort of skin disease. Right, we'll put that in the parking lot because I'm not sure of that yet. Right, let's cover up the glue. I think I want to address the situation of this. And the more and more I look at it, this is where it's been in my mind ever since I started thinking about this collage. So I'm actually going to stick it down there. Right, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because it's called Fabri-Tac. For me, that's an obvious no-brainer. Also, I don't want to put too much on here that it soaks through because it isn't as if this is an outside of a journal cover and it will need to be very durable. And if you put too much glue on something, you'll find what will happen is it will seep through. And sometimes, even though it becomes invisible when it dries, it sort of still looks like it's there. So I'm going to pop that up in that corner. And then a trick I've seen others do is I'm going to use the edge of a credit card to tap it down, just to make sure it's fully in contact. There you go. Am I bothered by that little bit? I want a little dot of glue in that corner because I know if it's going to catch anywhere, that's where it's going to catch. Mind you, what it's going to catch on, I don't actually know. So there you go. So I just want to run through and make sure I've got everything on here before I decide where I want to take this. So a flower, definitely got flowers. Foreign language, we do have a foreign language. Stitching, we've got stitching and we did stitching here. A measurement, we've got measurements and we've got measurements. Something torn, everything on this page is torn. Geometric shapes, yes. Right, let's have a look now because to me, this page is lacking. It is seriously lacking something. Not 100% certain what, but it is lacking something. I don't like this double join thing here. I shouldn't have overlapped that. Note to self, don't overlap stuff. But I think I was in a hurry. Not that that's an excuse. I should actually be thinking about stuff like that. Something someone once told me was, if you can't cover up a mistake, make a feature of it. I'm thinking maybe I want to make a feature of that then. Blue, blue, blue. I don't mind blue there. Maybe it's time to pull out some stamps. 1 second. Right, back with the stamps. I'm wondering what I've got flower-wise. I've got butterflies. I really do need to end up putting all my stamps into this one album. I tend to forget about it. Well, butterfly would be perfect on here. So let's see. We've got pinks and blues. Is there anything that's really jumping out that's pinks and blues in here for me? That's quite pretty. It's got pink in it. It's got the tiniest little butterfly on it. You're probably all shouting and pointing at the screen, aren't you? I quite like that one because it's got multiple butterflies on and it's still quite light. Let's pull this one. This one's got yellow on it and there's already yellow in this. And I think this one from Cuba has got pink in it. Right, I'm not saying we're going to use these, we're just using them as an option currently. Although we probably will end up using them. Okay, right, let's pull the stamps in. Right, a stamp would sit quite nicely there, cover up the majority of that. I like the way it ties into the yellow. The pink, that feels like it needs to be that stamp and not that stamp. Pink over here I don't mind that. Do I like that? I'm wondering whether I need to distress the edge of these stamps. I haven't distressed much along the way, and I think I do. I just want these to have a little bit of an outline. So I'm just going to use Vintage Photo, as everyone uses Vintage Photo, I know. Actually, no, that's untrue. I've seen some people using soot black as well, which is another bit of drama. But I do think that if I just put a little bit of this on the edge, because the spread is so white to start with, this will give it a little bit of framing. Right, that's enough of that. I can get carried away with that if I really wanted to. Right, that one was going over there, wasn't it? So let's glue these on, because I think time is probably a ticking, and I want to make sure that this isn't an hour long, although there's nothing wrong with it being an hour long. So I think we're all kind of enjoying the process from what I can gather. So that's in there. And this one was going over there because I didn't like the fact that there was that smudge. Let's use the card because my fingers are getting a bit sticky. Let's put this one up in the corner. I still don't feel that we've found the correct focal point, however. I'm looking at this thinking it still doesn't sing, should we say. Right, if that's the background, and it is quite a busy background, I feel it needs something big on it. Let me have another look. Right, we could see whether we've got a big butterfly, because we've obviously got butterflies on here already. A bee, I haven't put a bee on anything. I don't really want to put flowers on stuff because there's already enough flowers. This doesn't look like a bee, a bird thing to me. I've got one of these that says March. I do have one of these that says March. I wonder. I know it's covering up that big space there, but I don't mind that down there. But I don't think it's answered the question of focal point. So let me just, a bit of a tear and see what we think of that. Yeah, I do need to tear it slightly under there. Where do I need to tear it to? Just the edge off there. I don't mind that, but I think it's too big. Right, so okay, that will go back into the cuttings and things. Where have I put it? It can go back in there. It was a nice idea, but it didn't work. Do I need a label? No, I need to fill up the ephemera book. I've got lots of ephemera, I've just not put it in here yet. So I'm struggling with this, guys. It needs something, I just don't know what it needs. And I know you're probably all shouting at the screen at the moment, but I'm wondering. 1, 2, about, well, that's a big old butterfly, isn't it? 3. So I'm just pulling butterflies out because I'm having a bit of a moment thinking, but I'm not sure that it's going to be what I want it to be. I mean, I've got these, which sort of ties in that, but again, I'm not sure it's the right thing. Let's pull that one out. That, I wonder. Just move that out of my way. I'm feeling a bit claustrophobic on this desk at the moment. Right. That's unusual. I'm not sure about that. That's sort of, I wonder whether that one would do better. I'm just trying to find something that's big and suits the page, to be honest. Maybe down there, if I layered that up. I do quite like that-ish. I wonder. I think I'm going to do that, but I want to adjust that slightly because these head and the tail of this are protruding and they're not matching up with the piece I'm sticking on top. So I'm just going to take those away from it. And that way the body of the butterfly will stand alone. Oh, don't tear it, Griffiths. So there you go. See, for me that works better because the body can't be seen underneath. Right, let's just commit, guys. Time is ticking. Ceri's gassing on. I just want to put this down and know that we've done. So I don't know why I feel that's the right place. It just feels like the right place. And this was just a die cut. Sorry about that. And it was a die cut of one of my own art pieces. I would say that's probably me working with inks. I don't think that's acrylics. I think it is just inks. Please don't let me have glue all over this butterfly. Okay, not 100% certain, but I'm happier with what that is now. I still feel it needs something. I keep being drawn to these, thinking there needs to be a pop of something. But I'm thinking this page is looking way, way, way too busy for me normally. But then isn't what the whole point of this is to take you out of your comfort zone? This just doesn't feel right. Okay, I think we need to call it quits, guys. When you see the final picture of this, you never know. I may have tweaked it in some other way. I'm just not 100% certain yet. Although I could just leave that as it is because it is a lesson, isn't it? It's just me learning about stuff. I just feel it needs defining in some way. But no, maybe we need to just say stop. Okay, I'm going to call it quits here, guys, because I really do think that's enough. Okay, so until next time, Ceri the Crafter saying goodbye. Goodbye. That's Ceri, and of course social media links. There you go. You want to find me, follow me, like me, share me. That would be fabulous. Please keep your comments coming. I will do my absolute utmost to answer them, respond to them, even if it's a heart, a thumbs up, a little click, or a mention in the next video. I'll do what I can, but there's more and more comments coming in now, which is absolutely wonderful. Although there's going to come a point when I'm not going to be able to keep up with all the comments, so please forgive me on that one. So this is Ceri the Crafter saying goodbye. Goodbye. See you next time.